It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And we are live. It is a Monday. Is it a Monday? Yes, it's a Monday. The days are meaningless. Calendars are useless at this point. Welcome back to the working week. I'm James Van Alstyne. This is Car Con Carne. And coming up in the days and weeks ahead, this is going to be awesome. You know, I've been doing this like 8:30 or 9 o'clock every weeknight. Coming up, Olympic gold medalist, arguably, hands down, the best diver in the history of the sport, Greg Louganis, will be joining me and my special co-host, or I guess I'm his special co-host, Brent Sopel, ex-Chicago Blackhawk. That's coming up soon. The duo Fairview will be joining us. Comic book all-around good guy Sal Abinanti will be here. There's a Zanies virtual event happening this Saturday, and performing at that event are two guys who will appear on this podcast this week. T. Murph and Pat Tomasulo will be on this show. And I'll be featuring a new hard seltzer startup from the north suburbs, Freshie. Who doesn't like hard seltzer? Goes down good. That's all coming up here on Car Con Carne, recording here nightly on social media and heard everywhere after the fact on all audio platforms. I'm joined tonight by two gentlemen whose music is fantastic, but whose appearance will haunt you till the day you die. It is Canvus. I'm joined tonight by the Wolf and the Crow. Here they are, Canis and Corvus. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
How you doing?
So the look is kind of steampunk. Is that fair to say?
For these masks, yes. Yeah.
So you have a wardrobe, like a full.
Yeah, we have a few masks here and there. I mean, the look has evolved kind of with each music release that we've done. So for our debut album, I had a gray mask and he had his black mask. And then after that, we kind of just switched it up. It hasn't really been official yet, but yeah, these are the new masks.
They're badass.
Thank you.
Let's be clear. They're badass. And clearly neither of you hibernate in the winter.
No.
So I guess the first question right out of the gate, and you are a duo, you're a musical group. Why the masks and what do they represent?
Honestly, for me personally, wearing a mask allows me to express myself in more of a interesting way. The human face can only go so far, and this just adds such an artistic element to it. And honestly, a little bit of mystery too. I know growing up listening to bands like Slipknot and Hollywood Undead and those bands, there was always just something about them that drew me to them. And it's that element of mystery is honestly what draws me into wearing a mask.
Well, that anonymity kind of frees you to do things. You're not locked into, I'm Bob Smith. You can be Canis, you can be Corvus, and you can be this persona, and you're uninhibited, basically.
Yeah, and you definitely hit the nail right in the head. And honestly, Canis and Corvus, they've become more of a character, honestly, than anything else. Wearing masks allows us to do comic books, to do short stories. The possibilities are endless. Artwork, stuff like that.
I feel like Corvus is going to chloroform me from behind, especially because there's no word. There are no words coming out of him. A little concerning. So I love the music. The new EP is The Artist. The latest EP is The Artist. For people who haven't heard Canvus, it's a combination of melodic vocals and rap. You two work really well off one another. How did you find each other?
You want to answer that, Chris?
Yeah, let me. So we met each other when I transferred schools from one school to another, both CPS. He went there and we just kind of hit it off right off the bat. We bonded through both of us loved World War II, and that was what we always talked about. We loved the video games. And we both bonded through music because I have always had an attraction to music, and him and his dad always had like a studio in their house. They always had a bunch of instruments, and we were just able to hit it off like that, and we've been best friends ever since. But then he eventually moved out of the city, so we stopped talking kind of for a few years. And then when I moved out of the city to the suburbs, I was like, oh, I live right next to you now. We got together, started a little band, and the rest is history.
Does anyone ever say, you know what, your COVID mask is really messed up?
No. This unfortunately does not cover our mouths.
Yeah, no.
It's not really an excuse to wear it out in public.
Yeah, good point. All right, so the artist, the CP, listening to this, it's like mini movie scores when I listen to these songs. Right out of the gate, there's a song called Killing Season, which is pretty dark intro to what is to come on that EP. But it's interesting. It's not totally in line with the rest of what I hear. Like Asphyxiate, a song I played Sunday night on Demo 312, the radio show I do. It's almost dreamy and down tempo and certainly something different from Killing Season. So let's talk a little bit about musical approach for the artist.
So lyrically, we kind of took a different approach this EP than the last full-length album that we did. The instrumentals themselves are kind of more telling the story than anything else. Kind of don't want to talk too much about like that now because there's more to come, more content to come besides music to go along with it. But everything that we do as Canvus has kind of a deeper meaning. We really like concepts. So our debut album was a concept album. It tells a whole story, lyrically and musically. With this new EP, the artist, lyrically, we both wrote our own lyrics. And honestly, they just, they have their own personal meanings and stuff like that. I definitely hope, to continue to do more of the concept lyrics and stuff like that in the future, because that was a lot of fun to write on the previous album.
Marty, who's watching this as we're recording on Facebook Live, says Asphyxiate is great. So you already have a fan. Maybe you heard it on the radio. Maybe you heard it on Spotify or whatever, but he's a fan of Asphyxiate. And if nothing else, it's a fun word to write.
Yeah.
When you nail the spelling on that, you feel pretty righteous.
Yeah.
Other songs on this EP, I like Cancerous. I mean, actually, I like the whole EP. Cancerous, I like. I enjoy the piano on that. It's just, like I said, these are like little mini movie scores. You kind of compose cinematically with what you do. I mean, do you guys find inspiration in scores and soundtracks and that kind of stuff?
I personally went through a phase in high school, so this is a while ago, but I did listen to classical music because I did want to change the way that I thought about writing songs and how I structured them.
In high school? You had the wherewithal to do that in high school. That's cool.
Yeah, actually. So I did, I'm sure I draw inspiration from that period of my life into my songwriting. But honestly, this might sound a little crazy, but honestly, sounds that I hear just like out in the world as I'm going through my life, I'll hear a sound, a tempo, something, in the street is making a rhythm or making a sound, and I'll get inspiration to write a song from that, honestly. And that's probably where most of it comes from.
I love it. And it wraps up. I mentioned the almost dreamy state of Asphyxiate. To Wash Away Winter, as timely as a look outside your window, To Wash Away Winter, the vocals are kind of otherworldly on that song as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were going for. Definitely. I can talk about, what that song means to me personally.
Please.
So obviously, growing up and living in Chicago, winter can definitely wear down on the soul.
It's happening right now.
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
But on a more deeper scale, on kind of the depression level, I've kind of linked, not to say that I don't like winter, because I really do, but only for, so long. And I kind of linked the word winter to depression and just feeling low. and the song is just, talking about washing away winter. And obviously with a lot of music, there's hint of a love in there somewhere. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship, and I think a lot of artists and musicians can agree with me or meet me halfway at some sort. Like, there's definitely times where I enjoy depression because that's where most of my music productivity comes from.
Isn't that the truth? You hear that so often.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this past year especially, I've been talking about mental health more than I ever have in my entire adult life because it's so important. And whether it's something that spins out of a discussion of music or just everyday life, any excuse to kind of talk about it as we're all kind of in this weird spot and hoping to see a finish line to what we've been through. I think it's a good thing to bring up. So to wash away winter is a springboard for those conversations, that's a great thing. Such an insane time. Yeah. So how did you guys, you put this out a couple months ago?
What was that?
You put out this EP a couple months ago?
October, yes.
All right. So was this recorded during the pandemic or was this pre-pandemic?
Yes.
It was.
I think some of it was and some of it wasn't.
So how did you pull that off? Like, was it weird coming back together? Like, okay, we got to figure this out.
So, it's so weird with the changing of genres that we've done. We've done everything. We've done piano. We've done alternative rock. We've done heavier stuff. Now we're starting to get into the hip hop rap.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, this came from a lot of me just experimenting on my own, coming up with something that sounds good, sending it to Corvus and bouncing ideas back together. And I'll make some changes, and then I'll come up with some lyrics and he'll come up with some lyrics, and then I'll record the chorus, and then he'll do his raps and stuff like that. And it just it took a lot longer than it should have, but we definitely, I think, pulled it off. This is my favorite sound so far.
I think it sounds great. And so much of what you do hinges on the production work. I mean, what you do in the studio, I think, is really extraordinary. Which one of you is the studio red, or are you both like studio geeks? Okay. That's all you?
Yeah. He definitely helps here and there, but growing up with the studio in my house, I had more time to kind of tinker with it.
All right. So what happens next? We're in a new year. It's a weird year, obviously. You hinted that there's more music to come.
Yes.
Is that work in progress as we speak?
I'm writing songs currently, but I'm activated with the National Guard, so I'm away from home and unable to kind of do anything too productive. But it's definitely a work in progress.
Well, thank you for the work you do in the National Guard.
Thank you.
That's very cool. And you mentioned comic books. I've seen lots of illustrations on your social media. I love that aspect. Tell me a little bit about that.
That's all him.
All right, talk as close as you can into the mic there, Corvus.
Here, let me push my mask up a little. Can you hear me a little better?
Yes.
Much better. Yeah, so I just see your beak. If you can keep that up, that's perfect.
I'll hold it like this. So, like we said earlier, we met in 5th grade, and we became best friends, hit it off. And since then, we've had a lot of inside jokes, and we kind of wanted to do like videos, like skits. We never got around to doing that. We still want to do that. But eventually I got my new phone, which is a Note 10, and it comes with a pen. So I decided, I can draw with this. So I was like, let me draw us with our masks. And eventually that turned into me making little skits with our inside jokes. And they're all completely unfunny, like just the driest of humor possible. Only funny to us, but
yeah. If you can't amuse yourself, what's the point, really?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So if people want to hear you, you are Canvus, Canvus. It is a combination of your two stage names, Canis and Corvus. They can find you at Spotify, all the streaming services. And then are you guys on Bandcamp as well?
I believe so, but only our last album. I personally haven't gotten a chance to set all that up. Spotify, this was our big Spotify thing, so I got kind of excited and neglected some of the other social or other music sites, but Spotify is definitely easiest place to hear us.
Well, I think what you're doing is super cool. And I love a group that has really thought out not just the music. You've figured out where you're at musically and you keep growing and pushing those edges. I love the look, everything about it. You figured out how to be a true performing artist. And I love what you're doing. Keep doing what you do.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
All right, Canvus, thank you so much.
Thank you.